Man, oh man, what a game by the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love in that offense, that awesome defense against the Chicago Bears, shutting them down week 1 of the 2023 NFL season in their own stadium. Packers winning this football game 38-20. Wanted to make a video on my initial reaction and thoughts of this football game. There's a lot to break down, a lot to go over, and as always, the Bears still suck. All right, so let me get this thing started by saying going into this game, I was confident in the Green Bay Packers. Like, I definitely thought they'd win this football game. But man, I did not expect 38 points by this team, 31 by the offense, and the defense to play that well against Justin Fields. I was worried about Justin Fields' running ability, and he only got 59 yards. I think that's kind of holding him in check because he's a glorified running back that sometimes passes the football. And, you know, he didn't pass the football well today. And the way you beat the Bears is force them to pass on you with Justin Fields. And that's exactly what they had to do. And that's why the Green Bay Packers are 1-0 and the Bears are 0-1. So first, we got to talk about the offense and Jordan Love. This was his first start as the new starting quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, the third ever quarterback since 1993 to start week 1 for the Packers. Obviously, the other two being Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. There was definitely a lot of talk if Jordan Love could rise to the occasion and step up as the new era quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. And man, I think he definitely did. Now, I'm not saying Jordan Love had a perfect game because he didn't, but he definitely impressed me tonight, and he looked very poised at that quarterback spot. He didn't look like a player that's getting his first start as the starting quarterback. You know, he is obviously a fourth-year player, so he has a lot of experience under his belt. But then again, this is still a first for him, being the starting quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. So I'm sure there was a lot of nerves and whatnot, but I will say Jordan Love looked very, very poised tonight, made throws when they had to be made. The Packers were really, really good on third down. Jordan Love making those throws, finishing 15 of 27, 3 touchdowns, 245 yards, got sacked once, and had a quarterback rating of 123.2. So we saw he did get sacked once. That was more on Jordan Love holding the ball a little bit too long. So going over Jordan Love, like I said, he wasn't perfect. There's some things he has to clean up. I feel like his rhythm was a little bit off to start the game, but that's to be expected, right? Like, this is his first start as a starting quarterback. So I think the rhythm needs to get cleaned up a little bit, and he did overthrow a couple balls, but that happens, right? There's a deep post to Samori Torre. I feel like he could have put it out more in front of him towards the pylon. It might have been a touchdown. There was that one play to Luke Musgrave, which was a corner route that got overthrown. Who knows if Musgrave's depth on that corner was supposed to be farther or if it was just a plain overthrow by Jordan Love. And there was a couple out routes, one of them an out route, one of them a comeback to Jaden Reed, where I feel like Love could have fired the ball more in rhythm and quicker to Reed on the outside, and they likely would have resulted in first downs. Both resulted in incomplete passes. So the rhythm's got to get cleaned up a little bit, but nonetheless, Jordan Love definitely impressed me tonight, and I'm super excited for the future of this football team if that's what we're going to get from Jordan Love week in and week out. But it's still going to be, you know, an up and down type thing for Jordan Love, right? This is still the Bears football team. The Bears aren't a good football team. They're not a good defense. So we'll see what happens when he plays a better defense and how he performs. But nonetheless, it's still super impressive to put up 31 points in your first start, you know, for the starting quarterback for the Packers. As for the rushing game on the offense, man, Aaron Jones, what a day for Aaron Jones. Hopefully he's all okay. We saw in that second touchdown him kind of pull up holding his hamstring. So hopefully that's nothing serious. Maybe it's just cramping. He didn't return in the game because they didn't really need him to. Maybe he would have if it was more of a closer game to end it. But hopefully he's okay, because that would be a huge blow to this Packers offense. He is by far clearly the best Packers, you know, offensive player that they need to keep giving the ball. So talking about giving Aaron Jones the ball, they really neglected him in the first half. And I hated seeing that because last year that was one of our main concerns. Like, give Aaron Jones the ball. That was their problem last year. I feel like they didn't give Aaron Jones the football enough. And to start this game, it looked like they were fixing that. You know, 5 carries in the first drive to Aaron Jones and even a target. But then after that, he didn't get a single carry or target for the rest of the half. So I was hoping going into halftime that was going to be adjusted. And man, it was, because they went out flying in the second half, giving Aaron Jones the football. He ended with 9 carries, 41 yards, and a touchdown, and also 2 receptions for 86 yards and a touchdown. Obviously, that long screen, big play, and also out of the backfield, the Texas route he ran against TJ Edwards, which absolutely smoked him for the touchdown, where he kind of, you know, pulled up holding his hamstring. So again, hopefully he's okay. But man, what a game for Aaron Jones. The Packers offense needs to flow through him, and if Aaron Jones is putting up numbers like this, it's going to make Jordan Love's, you know, job a lot easier. As for some of the other running stats, Patrick Taylor, 5 for 22. He ended the game running the football. A.J. Dillon, 13 carries for 19 yards and a 1.5 average. So not a great game by A.J. Dillon. I feel like he was kind of running into players when he could have, maybe got around them. And I think he could have had better ball carry vision, also dropped a pass on a swing pass. And the one thing I'll say about this with the Packers, I feel like they're trying too hard to make this two-headed running back situation work. Just because A.J. Dillon was Gutekunst's second-round draft choice, where it should be Aaron Jones is by far clear the number one running back on this football team. We're going to use him, and if he gets tired, then we'll bring on A.J. Dillon. Or maybe we have a third and inches and we want to run the bigger running back right up the middle. That is A.J. Dillon. I feel like that's how they got to use him. They got to stop switching on and off with both of these guys, where it's like, oh, we'll see Aaron Jones for a drive, and then the next drive will be all A.J. Dillon. I feel like that wrecks the Packers' offensive continuity so much, because they'll be flowing so well with Aaron Jones, and then the next drive A.J. Dillon will come on and have like a carry for a yard or two, or even a negative run on first down where it sets the Packers up for second and long, and it ruins all continuity and consistency of that offense. And I just don't like it. I feel like switching those running backs so much is a detriment to this offense, and they got to keep Aaron Jones out there. That is their number one running back. You feed Aaron Jones. You keep feeding him, and when he gets tired, because you're feeding him so much, that's when you bring in A.J. Dillon. I definitely want to give a shout out to this Packers offensive line. Wasn't impressed with Josh Myers. I thought he had a very rough day, got blown up on a couple blocks, missed a couple block assignments, and also was just in the way a couple times where I think Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon tripped over him, where it could have been a bigger play, and it ended up not. There was one screen where I think Aaron Jones would have gained a ton of yards, and Josh Myers was just in the way, and it ended up being an incomplete pass because of that. So not a good game by Josh Myers. We're all kind of wondering this offseason, how's that going to go at center, because he hasn't looked good this offseason at center. So definitely something to monitor going forward. But I think the rest of that offensive line was excellent, near perfect, right? I feel like they protected Jordan Love wonderfully today. We saw Bakhtiari out there at left tackle. Didn't practice all week and still had an awesome game. I thought Elton Jenkins, John Runyon, Zach Tom also had excellent game. Jordan Love had all day to throw today. He was very poised in the pocket, and it all starts up front in the trenches, protecting him and allowing him to make the right decisions at quarterback. I thought they had an excellent day, and that one sack on Jordan Love, honestly, I think was on Jordan Love holding the ball too long, and it wasn't even on the offensive line. So again, definitely give a shout out to the offensive line. Still a little concerned about Josh Myers, but overall the O-line looked great. As for the receiving stats, we already went over Aaron Jones, 2 receptions, 86 yards and a touchdown. Luke Musgrave, 3 for 50. Obviously that broken play where it was a fumbled snap, Jordan Love picked up the ball and threw cross body on that backside wheel by Musgrave after play action. Awesome play. It was just wild to see live. Musgrave tracking the ball down, luckily catching it and then tripping. He should have walked into the end zone, but at least he caught the football, and it allowed us to see that awesome Romeo Doubs mossing Tyreek Stevenson fade play right after that. Jaden Reed also thought had an excellent day, an excellent rookie debut, 2 for 48, and also had a 35-yard punt return. They're using him exactly how I thought they would, out of the slot, finding the holes in the defense, and they targeted him a lot. And there was a couple plays where the Bears defenders made great plays on the ball, but Jaden Reed will keep getting targeted, and it looks like he's okay. We saw him come up holding his knee after that one play. Then it was rumored as cramps, but then we saw him back on the field for that onside recovery. So hopefully he's all good, and it was just cramps, and he's still good to go, because we cannot lose another wide receiver. And Romeo Doubs, man, what a game. 4 receptions, 26 yards, 2 touchdowns. Had that first touchdown on that deep dig, ran against Eddie Jackson and cooked him in the back of the end zone, and then that fade route, obviously an awesome play. Jordan Love finding him on the fade, him mossing Tyreek Stevenson. Romeo Doubs stepped up to the plate today with the absence of Christian Watson, really showcasing why he can be a top receiver for this offense and why Jordan Love trusts him so much. I was also impressed with Samori Toure filling in. He had 2 receptions on 18 yards. I think one of them was a crucial third down. I thought he played well. It seems like he got more snaps than Malik Heath. I was kind of wondering that going in. Are we going to see more Malik Heath? Are we going to see Dontavian Wicks, who Wicks was on the field a lot and I thought had a pretty rough day, but we mainly saw more of Samori Toure in Watson's absence, and kind of showcasing why Toure is that 4th wide receiver, and I thought he had a really good game as well. So now going over the Packers defense, man, what a game by this Packers defense. They were flying around all night and making plays on the football. It started off a little shaky in terms of their tackling. I feel like it is week 1, so it's to be expected maybe that tackling could be a little sketchy, but nonetheless, they finished the game holding the Bears to 20 points, and 7 of which were garbage time points. So overall, just an excellent day by this defense. I think Darnell Savage had probably one of his best games as a pro, and that's huge. That is huge for this defense. The last 2 seasons by Darnell Savage have not been good. He had a above average rookie season, and then the two after that, the last two, just not good. And the Packers, the biggest question mark on this defense is that safety position. And it's great to see Darnell Savage step up today. Had 10 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss. I didn't see him miss a single tackle, and it feels like he was just flying around, and he was exactly where the ball was every time. When Darnell Savage is a read and react safety, that's when he's at his best. When he's thinking too much and hesitating, that's when he struggles. So I'm so happy to see him tonight play the game he did. I'm a huge Darnell Savage supporter. I want this guy to succeed so much. So I'm so happy to see this because he needs it, and this Packers defense needs it. I thought it was a rough game by Rudy Ford, the other safety, missing a few tackles, having that really boneheaded penalty after he got ran over by Roschon Johnson. Got to clean that up. I thought Rudy Ford just didn't play well tonight. So we got to monitor that. If maybe, someone like John Owens wants to step up to the plate and, take that role, we'll see exactly what happens. I had high hopes for Rudy Ford this offseason, but if he continues to play like he had tonight, it won't be long before we see someone like Owens out there over him. I thought this Packers defense did an awesome job pressuring Justin Fields. Devontae Wyatt with a sack and a half. The 1 sack was awesome. It was a PA bootleg to the weak side of the field, and Devontae Wyatt was not fooled at all and sacked Justin Fields right after that boot. He also had a half sack on another play, sharing with Kenny Clark. And then, of course, Carl Brooks had a sack. He's my main man. I've been clamoring for Carl Brooks all offseason, how this guy's going to be the real deal. And we saw it already in week 1, getting significant snaps and sacking Justin Fields in this game. And then also Lucas Van Ness, definitely a shout out to Lucas Van Ness, had a very impressive sack early in this game. Justin Fields, getting out of the pocket, scrambling to the right side, and Lucas Van Ness tracked him down and wrapped him up and made an excellent tackle to get his first sack of his career in his first ever game. I thought the defensive line played excellent. TJ Slayton against the run. They stopped the run really well. And like I said, held Justin Fields in check, in my opinion, for running. It's hard to stop him. He's an excellent runner. I cannot deny that. He's very athletic. He still ran 6.6 yards per carry, but I feel like they definitely did hold him in check. There wasn't any massive running plays by Justin Fields like you see him do against other teams. So I give a lot of credit to this defense and the game plan they had going into this game. Like I said, the front seven I thought played excellent. Good game by Devondre Campbell. Excellent game by Quay Walker. That interception, man. Justin Fields just staring that down. Quay Walker didn't have to move much. And then intercepting the ball, not only intercepting it, but breaking a tackle and saying, I'm scoring on this play, and scoring a touchdown on a pick six. It really just sealed this game. It was kind of your dagger there. Hopefully he's okay. It looks like he was in concussion protocol after Darnell Wright hit him on the goal line. It was a pretty ferocious hit, helmet to helmet. So hopefully he's okay and he's all good to go, and that's not going to be anything too serious, because I thought Quay Walker had an awesome game today. One more thing I wanted to talk a little bit about on the defense is I thought Keyshawn Nixon kind of had an up and down day. There's times where I was really impressed with Nixon on that defense, and there's times where I was kind of sitting there scratching my head a little bit. Had a couple, missed tackles. And then I do want to talk about the touchdown that was thrown to Darnell Mooney, where a lot of people might be blaming Keyshawn Nixon. The Packers were in a cover 3 there. Rasul was the outside corner in a deep third. I think it was more so a miscommunication. It was a post wheel concept by the Bears there, Mooney on the wheel. That should have been Rasul's assignment there, staying outside, passing that post to the safety, and that wheel would have went nowhere. Nixon's assignment was the flats, so it wasn't really his assignment to track that wheel. I guess if it was said that, okay, Rasul's going to track this post, you got to man up the wheel once it's, it's an out and up type of wheel, you got to man that up. But to me, it was more so a miscommunication rather than just Nixon getting burned. And lastly, I want to talk about the special teams, because again, just like the offense and defense, I thought the special teams was excellent tonight. Anders Carlson, perfect on the day, 5 for 5 on extra points, made a 52-yard field goal, and he needed this. He needed this, confidence boosting game, consistent game where he didn't miss a kick. That 52-yard field goal was probably good from 60 yards. He had an excellent day kicking the football. And overall, this Packers special teams, I thought, played very, very well. They had a nice return by Jaden Reed for 35 yards. Keyshawn Nixon even had a 28-yard kick return. The Gunners on the punt coverage, I thought, played excellent. And Eric Wilson, also an excellent day on special teams. He was one of the best special teamers in the NFL last year, and he's showing why he still is that. Had some nice special teams tackles today. I thought he played excellent. Overall, this Packers special teams looked great. Daniel Whelan looked great punting the ball for his first ever start for the Green Bay Packers. Very impressed by this unit tonight. But that about does it for this video. Man, it's got to be hard being a Bears fan. You're booing your football team in the third quarter of week 1 of the NFL season. Man, talking all that trash all offseason, how the Packers aren't going to be good anymore. You don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore, but yet the Packers still own the Bears. In the last 11 games, the Packers have won 10 of them. And now it looks like the ownership of the Bears has been passed on from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love because the Packers still own the Bears. But that about does it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you could leave a like down below. Also comment the most impressive thing you saw tonight in this game in the comments below. But I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. And as always, go Pack Go.